So good morning, everybody. So as Charles said, my name is Alan Rosa. I lead a group called Information Security and Technology Solutions at CVS Health, which basically means I'm the CISO and head of infrastructure.
Yeah.
To translate that for you, it means on a good day, I help protect 185 million people's health data. On a bad day, it means I help keep that data out of the hands of a bored teenager in a basement somewhere, or I hope that some nation state actor doesn't take their frustrations out on us because some politician said something they shouldn't have said. Before I was at CBS, I served in the U.S. Navy, and as Charles mentioned, I went to UCF and got master's degrees from Columbia University and Seton Hall, respectively, before I went to Rutgers Law School, which basically means I've been in school longer than most Marvel franchises have been running. So when Tony says homework, I instantly react and think I'm behind on something. But really, why I'm here is to really simple to give you an honest and unfettered look at tech and security challenges at the biggest healthcare company in the U.S. and the career paths to help solve them. There is really no shortage of problems that we're trying to solve at CVS. And when we think about technology in healthcare, we sometimes box in those problems, say it's limited to clinical practices around delivery of healthcare to the patient, and that's true. But behind all that, there's a myriad of business problems that have to be solved. It's the profitability aspect and the shareholder aspect that we could turn ourselves with. There's the patient and the human connection aspect of it, which is critically important. And then there's also the innovation aspect and how do we deliver that healthcare in an empathetic, caring way that's both respectful, secure, and takes into account how important a role CVS Health plays in society today. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Bethany.
Great, thank you, Alan. And yeah, there you go. It's actually, I'm going to be presenting today, Bethany Gillen, instead of Karina, who's my amazing partner here at CVS Health. So a little bit about me. I've been at the organization for 11 and a half years, and I sit in talent acquisition, and my role is I lead university and strategic partnerships for CVS Health. That includes for university, it is our retail, our clinical, and our corporate programs. My peer is responsible for all pharmacy university relations. And prior to working here, I spent some time at Sacred Heart University and spent over 11 years in banking, the banking industry, some time at JP Morgan and also UBS Investment Bank. Anything from I spent some time on the trading floor with foreign exchange all the way to operational risk and Sarbanes-Oxley reviews. I have an undergraduate degree from Boston College and my MBA from UConn, and I'm a proud parent of 3 children and also a rescue dog, and have been married quite a long time. So just a little overview of myself, and really, really excited about spending some time with you today to tell you a little bit about our company and some of the opportunities that you can pursue as emerging talent with us. And I think we're going to a video now.
No sound.
Apologies. I'll try one more time with the share.
We use
Share sounds good.
we're normally using Teams, so it could be the Zoom piece of it too, Amy Louise.
Yeah.
Yes, here we go.
Imagine a healthcare system where every individual has the support they need to achieve better health. This is the vision of CVS Health. We serve 185 million customers and members every year through our integrated healthcare benefits, pharmacy services, healthcare delivery, pharmacy and consumer wellness lines of business. As both incumbents and disruptors in the healthcare industry, we are uniquely positioned to transform healthcare in the United States by engaging consumers in the channels they choose, providing accessible and affordable care that prioritizes the unique needs of each individual, ensuring that every patient is valued and understood. Aetna's CarePaths program uses data to anticipate member needs in response to health events and diagnoses, curating a single digital collection of high-value resources relevant to their specific condition, including applicable programs and benefits, care team, educational materials, prescriptions and authorizations, claims, and more. Caremark's Health Savings Advisor program proactively reaches out to members with clear lists of available cost savings opportunities. Caremark also offers members digital tools for them to explore options to lower costs for their prescriptions in the current and upcoming plan year. These connected digital experiences help members take advantage of their benefits and make more informed decisions along with their healthcare providers on their path to better health. Join us in our mission to transform healthcare for everyone and build a world of health around every consumer. Together, we are redefining healthcare.
That's great. Thank you for that. So I'd like to share some of these fun facts. Actually, you did such a great job in your opening. You covered some of these things, but just wanted to share some great things about us. We are a Fortune 5 company, and we are the largest publicly traded pharmacy company in the US. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen our stores. 85% of Americans live within 10 miles of a CVS pharmacy, which is pretty cool. And we serve over 185 million people. And so, as mentioned in the overview and also the video, we offer a full spectrum of healthcare services. So you can think of CVS Health as a one-stop shop for all of your health needs. And we transform the healthcare journey, and we're building a world of health around every consumer. This wheel here shows how all parts of CVS Health connect and work together. And each segment plays an important role in delivering on our purpose, which is to simplify healthcare one person, one family, and one community at a time. Our healthcare delivery business provides high-quality care when and where people are at, whether it's their local communities, at home, or virtually. The local care business is our Oak Street Health Clinics, which was recently integrated part of CVS Health, and they focus on personalized primary care for adults. Our walk-in convenience, and I'm sure you probably have used this Minute Clinics. I know my son does when he's at Ohio State and he's used Minute Clinic quite a bit. Provides walk-in care for anyone that's 18 months and up, and that's right in your neighborhood. Our at-home and virtual businesses, which are Signify and Quorum, deliver care and support directly to people's homes. And we also offer virtual primary care so you can see a doctor from your dorm or for wherever you are. Our Aetna business designs health insurance plans that connect all of your care needs, doctor's visits, prescriptions, and even your mental health into one affordable experience. And of course, your local CVS store you can go to for your prescriptions, your immunizations, and everyday healthcare needs. We also have our mail order and specialty pharmacy business that make it really easy for you to get the medications that you need. They can be delivered right to your door. And this service is helpful for people that are managing complex or chronic conditions, and they can focus on their health without having the extra stress of going to the store. So we combine all these businesses with technology, and that helps make healthcare simpler, faster, and more personal. And the goal is to help people get and stay healthy. Amy Louise, the next slide. And so our ambition is we want to become America's most trusted healthcare company. And healthcare, as I'm sure as you all know, it's changing really quickly. The costs are rising, health outcomes are declining, and people's needs are evolving. And it's time for this to be transformed. The technology is making care more personal and connected than it's ever been before. And I'm excited because CVS Health, we're at the heart of this revolution and making it easier for millions of people to manage their health and get the care and coverage they need on their own terms. And we have over 300,000 colleagues at our company that serve, as mentioned, over 185 million consumers. And our goal, we want to build a world of health around every single person that we touch. I'm proud to be part of this for 11 and a half years now. And the next slide is going to give you an overview. So the next slide has, this map shows us only some, but it's our top office locations where we have innovation and technology colleagues. And we thought this would be useful to show that if you joined us one day, that this could be an office location where you would work out of, but this isn't all of them. These are just our top locations. And it's where you can join the team, and you can work on things from, I know Alan's going to go into this a little bit more, but you can work on AI and mobile apps to big data and digital health solutions. And we would like you to join us so you can make an impact from day one and you can help millions live healthier lives. So that is my overview. And I know Alan's going to go into some more information around the work that's being done on a daily basis. So thanks, Alan. I know you're going to go through that next.
Amy Louise, let's go back to slide 5 for a second. I'd like to double click on something there. So this is a really important slide. And as Bethany said, we are the last publicly traded large distribution pharmacy company in the world. Some may point out, well, Amazon has a pharmacy as well, and they're publicly traded. As I like to say, Amazon has dabbles in pharmacy, but that's not their primary business. They can cast that away. This is what we do. This is all we do. We've been called what's vertically complete. And what that means is if you look at our business from retail to healthcare benefits to Caremark and what we do for pharmacy benefits, all the way to what's not on this slide, which is something called biosimilars. Every step of that value chain, CVS has invested in, is growing a strategic business in, down to delivery inside the home with our Oak Street and Signify investments. That's what they call vertically complete. And so when you have that type of integration and that reach, we don't get to cut corners. We serve 185 million people. If CVS was a country, we'd be the ninth largest that would be the ninth largest population in the world. So that's the type of reach that we have. 85% of Americans live within 10 miles of a CVS. And we're continuing to grow our reach to serve underserved communities throughout the United States. It's a critical part of the healthcare fabric of this country. Let's go down to the slide 8. Slide 8, please. So people sometimes think that healthcare tech is boring. It's really not. The infrastructure we manage is the backbone of how millions get care. We build omni-channel experiences, meaning whether you walk into a store, open the app, talk to a pharmacist, or call us at 2 o'clock in the morning, your experience has to be consistent and personalized. We protect systems, identity, and data at scale that makes most cybersecurity conferences cry. I mean, if you think about the risk profile that we are charged to protect, it's mind-boggling what people trust us with. And we invest early in technologies that move the industry forward: AI, automation, digital experiences, next generation security, predictive and deterministic systems that look forward and look backwards. And we're only accelerating those systems going into the future. My boss, a gentleman named Talak Mandati, if you Google him, you'll see that he's been pretty active over the last 12 to 14 months in the Wall Street Journal, in Fortune magazine. One of the big announcements he made earlier this year is that we're going to invest $20 billion in AI innovation. All right, that's an incredible amount of money in building systems that will, in effect, not only try to model what your health will look like going forward, not only predict what care looks like in the future, but also simplify the the delivery of that care. The future of healthcare is not just in addressing illness, but the future of healthcare is in preventing illness. It's getting ahead of it. It's in partnering with you when you're feeling well so that we prevent you from getting sick. Next slide. Super apps. So super apps are the rage these days. So as I mentioned earlier, prior to coming to CVS Health, I worked at Twitter as a CISO and a CIO at Twitter. Fun fact about me: for a better part of a year, I actually reported directly to Elon Musk. I don't know, college kids sometimes think that's cool, but yeah, he was my boss. I talked to him on 2, 3 times a week. We text regular, and that's where I first learned about the whole notion of a super app. So when Elon bought Twitter, his vision was to make it into a super app. If you guys use what you call it, I just had a brain freeze. What's that app? WhatsApp. Sorry, it's all the rage in Asia, particularly in China. Effectively, they took all these micro apps and put it into one massive app, and you can use it for everything from booking a hotel to making a reservation to transacting. Well, that was the vision, or that's still the vision for what now X is supposed to become. And so that started to proliferate through industry. And well, we have the same ambition, and we're starting with our own platforms. You know, the reason why I took the time to explain what vertically complete means is because you could take a vertically complete company like CVS Health, aggregate its digital properties, and create a super app, which is a compilation of a bunch of different capabilities to create a frictionless experience, which is to say, no matter what you're doing, you can do it in one place, and you can do it end to end. So you can go into a super app like this, and you could say, hey, I want to pick up my prescription. I want to schedule a visit. I can get my flu shot. I can do it a myriad of things that can do it in one time. And then we can start getting predictive and understand your behaviors. And perhaps we can even start becoming suggestive and say, hey, while you're here and you're picking up your prescription because you just went to the doctor, it's time for your flu shot. Would you like to get that scheduled? And when you come in, we can get it all done at one time. Or, by the way, you're overdue for X, Y, and Z. And so on and so forth. And the more often you visit with us, the more we can get more information from you, the more helpful we can become. And then we begin to add more and more capabilities as this data aggregates. And well, you can extrapolate that to the limitless potential that we have here. So that's pretty exciting stuff. So you think about your daily apps, banking, travel, food delivery, it's consolidation of all those experiences in one place. And by the end of 2025, we'll have full integration across CVS Pharmacy in Caremark. In healthcare tech time, that's really exciting things because healthcare, traditionally speaking, has been a laggard. We've been the slow mover. Beyond all that, if you read some of the material that's been posted out in the press and the things that Mr. Mandati has been talking about, what you're going to learn is that we want to expand that to an open platform concept, which is to invite other companies to participate. Because as you know, you do have choice when it comes to healthcare. You can get your healthcare benefits from United or Elevance or any myriad of places where you get your healthcare insurance, but your pharmacy benefits may come from any other of a myriad of places. And you may get your vision from one place, you may get your dental from another place, and so on and so forth. That means today that you may have 6 different apps or 6 different places where you have to tether these experiences together to actually get the outcome you want. And we're all chasing the same outcome. We just want the healthcare we need to feel good, right? That's incredibly burdensome to the customer. And several companies have tried to solve this problem. You think about Apple Health. Most of you probably have an iPhone or some derivative of that. And you may or may not use the app, and it's been somewhat helpful. It tracks your steps. It's a nice pedometer and tells you some other things if you have an iWatch or some other wearable. But what it didn't do is take that information and actually help you activate it in some meaningful way beyond telling you things about yourself. You know, other devices like a Whoop have their own app as well, and they integrate to a certain extent. But again, it's actionable elements only went but so far. we're attempting to bridge that in a frictionless way so people aren't as angry about how difficult healthcare is in the future, right? The tech behind these apps is incredibly complex. We could work on it for years. Next slide, please. Here's a real world example, something that we're doing today. This is AI in practice, AI in the clinician experience. Nurses used to spend hours pulling data together to prep for a case. Now, through AI, we automate that, gathering, organizing the information, presenting it in a clean, standardized format. So what's the result? Less administrative burden, more face time with patients, faster understanding of a member need, a consistent workflow for every case manager. The goal here isn't for AI to replace a nurse. It's giving them more time to spend with the patient. It's empowering them with insights so that the time they do spend with the patient is more meaningful and more impactful. Right? It's about curating that human connection. And when you go to see your nurse or your doctor, what you want is their attention. You want them to be as educated as possible so the conversation is meaningful. I mean, how much time does your doctor spend with their face in a chart? You want them paying attention to you. That's what we're pursuing. Next slide. All right, so here's where you come in. Whatever part of tech you love, whether it's an engineering role, data, security, AI design, we probably need it. If you like building things, engineering. If you like securing things, information security. If you like training models, AI engineering. If you like telling people why their project is behind schedule, well, project managers, we need those too. We hire students because new thinking is the only way this industry evolves. We don't want you to fit into our mold, we want you to break it. If we aren't disrupting ourselves every 18 months, then we're not moving forward. So some of the things that we value, cloud, AWS, Azure, GCP, we use them all. Python, Java, even C, we use them all. Data science, machine learning, LLMs, we use them all. AI ethics, responsible scaling, security mindset, curiosity, resilience, privacy, we need all of that. So there's lots of opportunity here. Just remember, your first job is not going to define your career, your curiosity will. And we bring in roughly 1,800 students every year into the programs that give you real experience, real responsibilities, real impact. And our rotational leadership programs are designed to accelerate your growth, not box you in. We have rotational programs that allow you to touch multiple disciplines, build a network, and find your lane. Every career is going to have its twists and turns. And part of the benefit of being in a vertically complete company like ours is that you can redefine your career multiple times over years. You never stop learning. Next slide. So my closing remarks is this. Healthcare needs people who want to solve problems. Identity, access, equity, automation, data integrity, and secure delivery. If you want a career with purpose, then this is the industry for you. If you want to work with a team that loves technology, loves solving big challenges, occasionally loves bourbon, cigars, and Disney, well, that's us too. There's no shortage of things to do here. CVS Health is a $400 billion company that is incredibly important to society. So, well, not us.
Oh, Alan, it's Bethany. I just wanted to chime in a couple things about this this QR code that you're seeing on the screen. If you can put that one back up. I think we have sophomores all the way to seniors in the class today, and I know Alan touched upon all the skills that we're looking for. Just wanted to share that if you sign up for this, then you will be getting communications from our team as jobs become available. And so Alan mentioned we have about 1,800 students coming in to CVS Health every year. And that can be through, we have a student mentorship program, about 200 to 300 students in the fall and the spring. And that's an opportunity where you can connect with a current colleague or someone that's part of our colleague resource group and learn more about our company and also help you with your career journey. That's a cool mentor program that we offer. There's also some externships in some of our businesses. And then we have our internship program for rising seniors that will then be a direct pipeline into some of our leadership development programs. So we hire probably anywhere from, depending on the program, from 60 to could even be 100% of our talent into our LDP programs from our internship. So definitely scan this QR code. You'll be part of our talent community, and then you'll be able to get communications from the team on opportunities that might be of interest for you based on how you fill out the form.
This is all great information, guys. And so the students go ahead and take advantage of this. Things that were brought up, our students do know Python, Java. They also know Tableau, Power BI, the cloud stuff. So this is right up their wheelhouse. And so the things that you were discussing is what we usually see from vendors recruiting our students. So it hopefully let me just ask this. Do most interns go to one of those locations that's on the map, or are there anything in the South or not? Just curious.
We are good, Stefan. Good.
Go ahead, Alan. Sorry.
So we have our hubs, which are the sites that Bethany had highlighted on the slide. We are a fairly remote company. I would say Bethany would probably know the strategy slightly better than I would, but I would encourage folks to really uh, focus on where the hub sites are, especially earlier in career, where you could work shoulder to shoulder with folks that are more experienced and help you understand the company. As your career evolves and you get more experience to understand the company, you may have the opportunity to work in different locations. But I would encourage y'all as you think about where to onboard. These are our primary hub locations.
Well, that's always helpful. I mean, they're willing to move, they're willing to travel. They were just, I know a lot of students ask me those kind of questions, and this is the kind of corporations we want to work with. So that's great. And hopefully the students will start chiming in with Q&A here. So you guys send in a chat or just go ahead and voice your opinion. When they get chosen to be an intern, uh, and say they move to Chicago or they move to Dallas, it looks like, or something like that. Is that like a 3-month internship? And do they have to find their own housing, or do you guys have housing since it's a short-term thing, or how's that work?
No, that's a great question. And a couple things just to chime in on the locations and the work model. So we would like, from the experience of, well, we strategically pick and place the students based on where there's going to be a good cohort of students. So you'll have a chance to build your community with other interns, but then also with leaders. And typically our interns work in a hybrid model. So a few days in the office and a few days remote. Related to the housing, stipends are given, and then there will be access, and Dave, keep me honest on this, there'll be access to some resources to help students identifying housing. So that is offered to students, and it is a 10-week summer program that will then kick off late May and then goes throughout the summer. And there'll be an onboarding experience done all in person. And then actually, this is a very cool thing about the program, but everyone midway through the program, everyone comes from all different business lines. So there's about 300 interns across everything from actuary, underwriting, HR, tech, all different disciplines, even supply chain and merchandising. Everyone comes together in the Hartford location to have the opportunity to build their network across all different programs, and then also really focused typically on development. Last year was focused on innovation as well. And so that's a really unique experience. I think that sets our company apart from other internships where you'll have that, you build your cohort within your tech internship, but then you also have a chance to meet all the other interns across the company that will build your network. Hopefully if you join CVS, but then you'll build your network as well as part of the program. So hopefully that answered probably questions maybe that you didn't ask too.
So students, I've been asking the questions. Your turn to go ahead and ask or type it in the chat.
And while we're waiting for some of those questions, Bethany, I'll just confirm everything you mentioned and let everybody know I put some of those dates for our internships in the chat. And I'll also call out that as you check our career site and look at those internship opportunities, each specific role will mention which locations those roles will be available in. So you can take a look at that, and they will also mention which ones are offering relocation support, if there's any dates, and then of course what majors and qualifications we're looking for each specific role. So definitely take a few moments as you look at those roles to see which of those job descriptions most align with kind of your career goals, or as Alan put, kind of your exploration internship years.
So to give you a little background on our internships and what I require of the students, they actually have to have 400 hours. So if they're doing it over the summer, 10 weeks, it would be a 40-hour work week. And I want them to understand what a 40-hour work week's like, since they've always been a student and now they're moving into the real world and maybe longer than 40-hour work weeks. So I have them do reflections and everything else like that. So they start to realize that, wow, it's a 40-hour work week's easy compared to 50, 60-hour work weeks, especially in the IT world. So, but some of the questions are starting to come in. I'll let you generate some discussion here with Peter first.
Hey, Alan, would you take this? Or I was going to say, Alan, if you would give the business perspective, please, on Peter's question. Can you give some examples of projects that student interns would work on during the summer? So if you could relate that to your organization.
Yeah, so we have our interns work on a variety of things. Lately, we've been focusing them on data projects, so doing data analysis, building agents. I really want to get them going in terms of building agentic solutions, have them building data flows that we can translate into AI requirements and put those into production. We have them looking at building AI use cases on the cyber side. They're looking at correlations and detections and building those out. It's really good experience to figure out like attack paths and understanding how an attacker thinks, and then figuring out how we stop those things. So it's almost like I'm an attacker, now I'm a defender. You're working on both sides of the equation, and there's so much volatility in how those things happen that you get a lot of iteration, a lot of cycle time. So you'll see literally hundreds of different examples of how an attacker would try to come into the environment, and then you'd have to solve those riddles. So anything that gives you iterations and repetitions are the types of projects we want to give you. On the infrastructure side, work in operations and how you look at trends and patterns, so we can come up with long-term solutions. We'll put you in things like that. And then, this project work, obviously, we'll pair you up with experienced project managers, help you organize tasks and execute short spurts, and help you organize those things. So we'll have you focus on that. There's a wide variety of things. Those are examples of top work we give you.
And Alan, I want to piggyback on what you had to say before you go to Kanye's question. But you mentioned there was a rotation possible during this as well. Would they allow to pick a rotational area and try different things, or how long would that rotation last? Or are you trying to keep them in one position for those 10 weeks?
So the internship programs, at least the way they work in my area, they tend to come in, and I find the interns stay within one group. The assignments may change. So you'll come in and work on a project, and we may change that project and give you a second project. So you have some variety, but you'll stay within that group. We have other rotational programs that come later on, and Karina could probably give you a little more color on what those options are. But we do for interns, you coming in for that duration, we tend to keep it within one group. It just give you different assignments.
Okay. Some more questions are coming in. I see
Yeah.
that Dave answered the hourly question, which is great pay, especially if they're paying for your moving expenses or stipends. And they're wanting to know other benefits. I don't know what other benefits they're asking for, but I see that you got employee discounts or food discounts or workout discounts. I don't know what all that includes, but
Yeah, and that's something we could surely go into. And it's actually, there's a lot outlined on our website or as they go through the process. What I think would be really great, Alan, if I could throw another one to you, please. What skills or mindsets do you think set apart interns who thrive and do really well here at CDS, especially in our tech and innovation area? So, kind of what makes our interns successful?
So I think what I'm about to tell you is probably true of any company you work in, and especially the larger ones. One, lead with curiosity. Ask a lot of questions. Right? Don't assume anything. That's the first thing. Second is be open to coaching and feedback. Feedback is a gift, right? Sometimes people take it as criticism. Don't do that. We have a very short period of time to teach you as much as humanly possible. Third, ask a lot of questions. Right? You have to push your sponsor to give you that feedback. What I've seen too often is that interns come in, they'll be overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of the experience, and they'll just wait to be tasks, and they won't necessarily seek out or push for that feedback, and you're cheating yourself out of the experience, right? So you should push your leader or your sponsor to give you as much as humanly possible in that very short window you have, right? Maximize that experience. The fourth thing I will tell you is don't limit the feedback or the insights that you seek to the job that you're given. Right? You should get three things out of this experience. One, learn a skill. Right? Two, learn about building relationships. At the end of the day, the long term capital you will acquire is about building good relationships, and that's how you're going to move through our organizations. So learn how to build relationships. And then the third thing is learn about how to build careers. Like really astute interns are figuring out not how to get through this internship, but how do I boomerang back after I'm done with my senior year? Like how do I get back into that door? Even if it turns out, hey, I don't want to do healthcare, I want to go to Google, I want to go someplace else. Figure out how to get back through a door, which anchors back to my first point, which is the only way that's going to happen if you know how to build relationships. So on your job, learn how to build relationships, get back into the door.
Love that, Alan. And actually, I got two questions sent to me privately in the chat, so we can go to those if that's okay. The first one really focuses on success measurements. How does CVS Health measure the success of its technology initiatives? What metrics matter the most?
Depends on what it is, right? So sometimes it's like ROI, like return on capital investment. You turn around and say, hey, I'm going to put $1 million into something. I want to get, it's something called a hurdle rate. For those of you taking business classes, they'll set a hurdle rate and say, hey, I'm not going to invest that capital unless I'm getting 12, 15% back on it. Right? And then we'll do a business analysis in the case and say, hey, there's a market for that product and we think we're going to get that hurdle, we're going to exceed that hurdle rate, we'll invest the money. Right? So that's the easy one. There are some projects that really that's not the right unit of measurement. So like think about a risk project. I'm in the security space, really hard in the security space to get ROI, like monetary value back. And there's regulatory requirements. So it's not like it's optional. I'm not going to have a return on investment debate with a CFO on whether or not we should do cybersecurity because the federal regulators are saying, well, you're not really going to have a choice. You're going to invest the money whether you want to or not. Right? We're going to try to do it in the most optimal, cost-effective way because the return on that capital is going to be great. So in that case, it's about risk. So risk valuation. And we'll say things like we got to invest $5 million because if we don't, our risk exposure is Y. And if that risk materializes, it could be a $300 million exposure to the company, in which case then the valuation of that is X against Y. Boom, you have your answer. In other cases, it'll be reputational capital. We were going to invest this with very little return on that investment. but we believe that the brand value created is this, and we can translate that to some future valuation. And then we'll do some math around that, and off we go. Right. So a simple example of that would be investment in a media campaign. So we're going to go blast on X and Facebook and whatever is your TikTok. And like, we don't really know at the end of the day whether there's going to be true return on that investment or not. We do know this: if you are not present on those brands, then chances are that you're going to struggle to connect with certain demographics, right? And you hope that you can measure that in some tangible way. And there's new ways and methods in which you can do that. However, the tangible benefits are somewhat questionable, but you still have to do that. So there's a reputational investment. So anyway, those are 3 ways that are easy to describe, but there's a myriad more.
Right, Alan. Before I go to the other question that I got privately, I'll go to one here that Kanye has asked. What are some typical expectations that we should know other than basic IT?
Typical expectations. I'm going to try to pull something out. I'm not 100% sure what you're looking for there, but here's what I have learned in being in IT. One, learn to reinvent yourself every 24 months. So I have this say. It's a bit offensive, but I've come to laugh at it. Tech is not kind to old dudes. And now, like, I'm not becoming an old dude. I got a lot of white hair. And what I mean by that is that, as you go in your career and you become an executive, it gets harder and harder to reinvent yourself every 24 to 36 months. It's like, look, yeah, I just want to get comfortable, drive my Lamborghini, right? And you can't do that if you want to be competitive in tech, right? So, like, getting tired is not an option if you want to be in tech. We're not lawyers or doctors or accountants where knowledge compounds upon itself. And like, the older you get, the more valuable you become. In tech, you literally have to self-disrupt every 24 to 36 months if you want to stay relevant. And that's where I say tech is not kind of old dudes. And so you have to just expect that skill, not experience, skill is your currency. Experience is important, right? Wisdom is important. Common sense is super important, but skill is your fuel. It is your capital. You trade in it. So you have to continue to develop it and evolve it. Hence the curiosity and perpetual learning and consistent investment. That's why education is no good. Earlier in this conversation, I said to you, I've been in school longer than a long running Marvel series, right? That's not because I like it, although I do love it. It's because I don't have a choice. And if you want to be in this game, neither do you. All right. 2, you're going to work long hours. Right? Being in tech means being in operations. And being in operations means sleep optional. I mean, do y'all realize Matt Horowitz is on this call? See him right there. Do you realize he's 23 years old? And he looks 75. Right? That's because he gets 2 hours of sleep a night. Sleep is optional. You don't get much. Right? The third thing you're going to realize is that the business is unkind to tech. Right? So I have a say, and Matt has been working for me for 20 years. Right? What's the most important application in any business? The most important. To an IT guy, what is the most important application in any business? And I get all sorts of answers. Well, it's the financial application. It's the healthcare application. No, it's Microsoft Outlook. It is the most important application. No matter what happens, Outlook better work. And people say, why? Because when someone comes to the office and they dock their laptop and they open it up, what's the first thing that they do? They open up Outlook, check their email. If that thing doesn't work, what's the first thing they say? IT sucks. Those IT guys don't know what they're doing. Our systems suck. Nothing works. I can't do my job. I'm pissed off. Technology's broken, right? That's the perception they have about their technology team. So make sure Outlook works. Right? So I don't know if I answered your question. The basic expectations is all of that.
Yeah, you hit it on the mark there, Alan, because I keep telling them they got to keep reinventing themselves and learning. A lot of them have experience. It's all entry level stuff. They're doing help desk. They're doing all these different things. and they're trying to move up the ladder based on their specialties and skills. So that's great.
Do you mind,
Karina,
Anthony? It's Bethany. If I could just chime in a couple just things from what Alan shared. Some of it might seem silly, but it happens. So I would say make sure that you're putting yourself on mute. Like I put yourself on mute when you're on these calls. Every summer, and I know Dave will be laughing, every summer we have interns that are, they're not showing up well on the call. They're not putting it on mute. Be on time to meetings. If you're an intern, you'll have an amazing opportunity to hear from pretty much almost all of our executive leadership team. Show up, put yourself out there, ask hard questions, opportunity to learn. It's like be uncomfortable. Like put yourself out there. You learn the most when you're like really uncomfortable and scared. Those are some things I would say that make successful here is just don't get comfortable and take risks and be scared.
Love that.